Hey sis, and welcome to the first video in the Burnout to Balance series, where we explore what it means to reclaim you in the midst of motherhood, work, and everything in between. My name is Londone Williams, certified life, health, and wellness coach, and also Clarity Catalyst instructor. I help women like you create a space to breathe, to heal, and to rise. In today's session, we're going to talk about the silent burnout so many of us carry as mothers and caretakers, how it shows up in our minds, bodies, and spirits, and most importantly, how to begin letting it go. Hey y'all, your girl is back, and this week I decided to do a little mini series. A little mini series on burnout is something that greatly resonates with me because I'm always burning myself out at both ends of the candle. So I wanted to talk about this because I just feel like as moms, so often we are like just wearing all of these hats, but we forget to really just take some time for ourselves and really just breathe. Nothing more, just breathe. So this series is all about the hidden burnout of motherhood and then also the myth of doing it all because who the hell said we got to do it all? I just want to know who said we got to do it all? So this is called Burnout to Balance. Okay, guys, Burnout to Balance. Reclaiming yourself as a woman, as a mother, and as a professional. So my name is Londone Williams. I am your host of Empower Her Network, which is now her law group. And I am super excited to be here with you guys. I'm a mother of five. I'm a coach. I am a wife. I'm a course facilitator, a lot of things. Most importantly, I'm just the one that is kind of witnessing all that I do, right, on a daily basis. I'm literally just here witnessing all that I do on a daily basis. So I'm really excited about this series because the truth is, being a superwoman is just not something that is sustainable. It's not something that we can do at all times. I'm going to give you guys some tips, some tools, a couple of activities that you can work on, a little reflection, and hopefully that'll help you see that number one, you don't have to do it all. It's okay being a superwoman, but sometimes you got to take off your cape. And that's what this series is going to be about. All right. So, welcome to session one of Burnout to Balance. Reclaiming yourself as a woman, as a mother, and as a professional. I just want to start by saying this first and foremost, you're not lazy, you're not broken, you're tired. Okay, so if you're tired and you've been carrying more than people realize, probably more than you even realize, to be honest. So if you ever felt like you're just showing up for everybody, opposed to just showing up for yourself, and then sometimes disappear when it is time to show up for you, this is the session for you. So let's just talk about what kind of burnout that nobody prepares us for. That silent exhaustion that comes with motherhood, right? And then the pressure to be everything to everybody. So here's the thing, guys. Motherhood is beautiful, right? It is absolutely beautiful, but it is also a lot. And I'm not just talking about the diapers and the pickups, the dinner preps. I'm talking about that emotional labor, right? The emotional labor that sometimes just really finds us exhausted, tired, and not physically, but mentally, spiritually. We're just worn out, right? So just kind of keeping track of the appointments, remembering everybody's needs, being the calm in everybody's storm. You ever find like your kids are all just kind of fussing, 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 right? And you hear them, and then everybody comes to you. So it's funny because I have, let's go down in ages. I have a 17-year-old, 14-year-old, 10-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And I always tell them that they have to be mindful of the way that they speak to each other, the way that they treat each other, the way that they talk to each other, because the younger siblings are watching. So this one particular day, my daughter and my son, my 10-year-old and my 14-year-old were in the living room, in the kitchen actually, and they were supposed to be cleaning. And my 10-year-old, she was real sassy to my all right, sorry about that, guys. But all right, so my 10-year-old and my 14-year-old were in the kitchen arguing. And I always tell my 14-year-old anyway, like, why are you arguing with her? She's 14. I mean, she's 10, right? And so she's being really sassy to him or whatever. I can't recall exactly what the argument was about. Anyway, she's being sassy to him, and so they're going back and forth. So I resolved that situation. So my oldest son now, the 17-year-old, he comes home from wherever he's at, and again, the kitchen, something in the kitchen got to be done. Oh no, this is where most of the arguments take place. So something in the kitchen got to get done. And now my 14-year-old is being a smart ass with the 17-year-old. And I find it hilarious because my 14-year-old is like, well, I was just playing with him. And sometimes my 10-year-old be like, well, I was just playing with them. Right. So I'm just watching how this transpires. So then now the 4-year-old is supposed to be going to bed. My 10-year-old and the 4-year-old share a room together. And so just telling the 4-year-old to go to bed. 4-year-old being a smart ass with her. So, who got to step in? Of course, mom. So I'm just like, do y'all see? And this all happened in one day. And I'm glad that it all happened in one day because I was able to kind of show them how each of them play a part in everything, right? I was showing how each of them play a part in, just how everybody responds to each other. So that was that. So it's just kind of like, it's just funny to me because while everybody is mom, I need a mom, this one isn't listening. At the end of the day, they all got to come back to mom in order to get this person to listen, right? So that's what I mean by being a calm in everybody's storm. We carry it while trying to smile through it, right? And often we don't realize that we're just kind of burnt out. We're done. We're tired. And then it's really not until our body just kind of screams, whether it's that fatigue, whether it's the brain fog, whether it's the irritability, even if it's kind of resentment, because whoever it is, like let's just say resentment because maybe your husband or your partner or spouse, whatever, isn't helping you in the way that you feel like they should be helping you. Even if they're helping you as best as they know how to help you, they're not helping you to the full extent that you feel like you need in that moment. So if any of this sounds familiar, I just want you to pause right now and take a break, breathe deeply, and ask yourself right now, where am I on the burnout scale? And y'all know that phrase that's going around now. We listen and we don't judge. But seriously, we're listening and we're not judging. And I want you to be honest with yourself because it's that level of awareness that we need in order to help us really first start doing what our bodies are calling for and then move on to the next step. All right, guys. So I hope you took a moment to just pause and breathe and ask yourself where you are, like where you're at on that burnout scale. So next, we're going to talk about breaking up with the Superwoman. All right. So somewhere along the lines, we're kind of sold this myth that we're supposed to do it all as women, right? And we're also supposed to look good doing it. First of all, I got on some house leggings and a shirt. Well, these aren't house leggings. These are my workout clothes. So sometimes you just got to get comfortable, right? So we're supposed to do it all, look good by doing it, but sometimes that superwoman is tired and she's not real. She's just this made up character that we have in our head that we got to do it all by ourselves. So I just want to tell you first and foremost, you don't have to earn your worth by being exhausted. Those two do not go hand in hand. First of all, you don't even need to earn your worth. Let's just start there, right? You don't have to prove your love by putting everyone else first and yourself last. That's just not the way it works because if your cup is depleted, how can you help anybody else? And you don't have to wear a cape to be enough. You already are enough. So, one of the most radical things that we can do is to choose ourselves and to choose ourselves without guilt. How many of you go shopping, right? And then feel really guilty by whatever it is that you picked up for yourself? Or when you go food shopping, you shop for the kids and you come home and realize there's nothing in the kitchen that you want to eat. Or after you've gone clothes shopping for everybody else in the house, you look back at yourself and you're just like, dang, I don't really have anything to wear and I don't feel comfortable doing it. So somewhere along the way, you might feel like you have just like kind of lost yourself in the mix of taking care of everybody else. And the very unfortunate thing about that is, as you continue to do that, what you're telling your kids is that it's okay for them not to check in with you because you're not checking in with yourself. You're telling your spouse and your partner that it's okay for them to not check in with you because you're not checking in with yourself. Even if that's not how they're really showing up in that moment. Maybe you do have an amazing spouse, which is awesome. Not to say that mine isn't. What I'm saying is I'm teaching them how to treat me. The same with my kids. Not to say that my kids aren't phenomenal, but I'm teaching them how to treat me based on how I treat myself. So even if I'm walking around in these holy sneakers, even if I'm walking around in these clothes that I had on from last week, even if I'm walking around with not having a haircut or my nails being chipped and stuff like that, and they coming to me asking me for money, or they're coming to me asking me if I could buy them the latest sneakers or whatever the case may be, and I turn around and doing that, knowing that I really need a pair of sneakers. Or for a change, I could actually go for it and go get my nails done. Or maybe I just need to take a break because they're all asking me to take them somewhere. But instead of me saying no, because I want to give my kids this abundant life, which they deserve, but as long as my cup can handle it. But here I am with an empty cup, still trying to pour into somebody else's. And then getting frustrated and upset because I'm like, well, damn, can't you see I need help too? Well, no, sis, because you don't see it. So that's the reality. You don't have to wear a cape to be enough. You don't have to prove your love by putting yourself last. And you don't have to earn your worth by being exhausted. You need to learn how to choose you without the guilt. Okay. So now we're going to talk about reclaiming yourself, which is really, really important. It's really important to reclaim yourself. It's really important for you to learn how to put yourself first. And what I want to talk about now is how we begin to shift that inner dialogue with ourselves. And one of the most powerful steps that we can take is by first checking in with self. Check in with yourself, breathe, go take a break. If you're waking up tired, I promise you, you're not checking in with yourself. If you're crashing by afternoon, you're not checking in with yourself. If you're going food shopping and realizing that, everybody else has something to eat but you have not checked in with yourself because what do you like to eat? What do you like to snack on? And it's something that's just that simple. And we don't realize how simple it is until it becomes like we don't, those are the little small things. And we don't realize how small it is what I wanted to say. We don't realize how small it is until it becomes a big problem. So you want to start checking in with you when it's a small, small issue before it becomes a big fire that you can't put out. So really start checking in with you, not the mom version of you, not the wife, not the employee. Because even at work, we burn ourselves out. I remember just working in accounting over the last 20 years and being in different spaces in that industry. I've been so exhausted. I had a job where I wasn't getting home until 12 o'clock at night during year end or month end. I had a job where I was afraid to speak up because I just didn't want first of all, I didn't want to look stupid if I'm being honest, even though I knew what the answers were. And then two, I didn't want the backlash of speaking up. I didn't want to be looked at as an angry black woman, whatever the case is. So I just didn't speak up, right? Knowing that I got kids at home, knowing that my kids need me or whatever the case is, I'm working all of these extra long hours at work because I gotta chase this money because my kids need more things. But mama needs a break too, and mama needs a rest. But I'm not paying attention to any of that in that moment. So when we check in with ourselves, we're not checking in with the mom version. We're not checking in with the wife version. We're not checking in with the employee. We're not checking in with the caregiver. We're not checking in with any of that. We're checking in with self. So we're going to start asking ourselves those powerful questions. How am I really feeling today? How am I really feeling emotionally? How am I really feeling physically? How am I really feeling spiritually? Where do I feel depleted? What do I need but keep ignoring? These are really powerful questions that we want to ask ourselves. And so this week, what I want you to do is I want you to just create this 15-minute, it's a 15-minute me first ritual, right? So it can be journaling, it could be sitting in silence, it could be listening to your favorite song. It really doesn't matter. It just has to be something that's for you. This is what I tell my students all the time. Like, and one of the requirements is to have a meditation corner. So what that looks like is in the morning when you wake up, before you do anything else, you're going to go sit in that meditation corner and you're going to meditate. So if meditating for you is reading your Bible, then go ahead and do that. You're going to start sitting there in silence. You're going to meditate, and then you're going to go into some journaling because that's the way that you check in with yourself. And what I like to do to take this a step further, before I even get out of the bed, I say three things that I'm grateful for, because just that intentional space right there of gratitude is really going to help you, like really going to set you up. So first, before I get out the bed, I say three things that I'm grateful for. After I say the things that I'm grateful for, I go ahead and for me, I read my Bible. After I read my Bible, I meditate. And then after you meditate, you want to go ahead and journal. Somebody told me the other day, they was like, look, if you're meditating, meditate for 10 minutes. And if you feel like 10 minutes is too long, then you need to double it to 20 minutes. Because when was it ever too long for you to pour into yourself? When was it ever too long for you to take a moment for what it is that your body is calling for? So that's really what you want to do. Because here's the truth. Healing starts the moment that we choose ourselves. So if you're somebody like me who's struggling with a whole lot of past trauma, well, I don't struggle anymore, but I did have a whole lot of past trauma that I was dealing with. And I realized I was putting everybody else before me. Everybody else. It didn't matter who it was. I was always opening my doors for people that needed help. I was always opening my life for people that needed help. But then I never opened my life for self. And then I would wonder why. Why the hell am I so tired? Yeah, I'm a lot further than where I was yesterday, which is amazing. But I'm always effing tired. And for why? Why? Because I wasn't pouring into my cup, because I wasn't checking in with myself. Yeah, I'm going to the gym to work out only because I'm focused on the extrinsic factor opposed to the intrinsic factors. I'm focused on what I'm gonna look like on the outside, thinking I'm supposed to look good, smell good, and all of that, but not really checking in with how I feel because I'm also supposed to feel good. So we gotta check in with the intrinsic motivators. And so this week, I want you to create a 15-minute me first ritual, which can be journaling, sitting in silence, listening to your favorite song, just getting up and moving, whatever it is. Pour into yourself and really ask yourself, how do I really feel today, emotionally, physically, and spiritually? Where do I feel depleted? And what do I need to keep ignoring? And then start your journey with that healing that we deserve. All right, guys. So before we close out, we are going to close out with this affirmation that I find to be very, very powerful. I am allowed to rest. Y'all hear that? I am allowed to rest. My worth is not defined by how much I do. You are doing better than you think you are. You're not alone. And I'll see you in session 2, where we're going to talk about how the pressure of being the strong one in corporate settings can lead to self-abandonment and how to stop that cycle. All right, guys. So take care of you because you matter. And I'll see y'all next session. Bye, guys. If you felt seen today, know this: you are not alone. And you're not meant to carry everything on your own. So make sure to complete your journal workbook for this session. It's the first step in coming home to yourself. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you don't miss the next video, where we are going to explore how to stop sacrificing ourselves to meet these corporate expectations. Until next time, sis, choose rest to choose peace and choose yourself. See y'all next week.